That is right. In fact, those winds have already started to pick up. And the problem, not only will these just be strong winds, it's going to be a long period with these sustained strong winds. In fact, we've got some video coming in from Lancaster earlier today. You can see the winds have already started to pick up. They will be at their worst tonight through Thursday night. And again, these winds could even continue into your Friday. Let's take a look at the latest watches and warnings. These extend from the coast all the way inland. High wind warnings already going into effect for the mountains in the Antelope Valley, as well as the Apple and Lucerne valleys. At the coast and the valley locations, we do expect those wind warnings to go into effect at midnight tonight. But again, not only the wind warnings, but we're also looking at red flag warnings. Humidity levels could get down into the teens. Let's take a look at the latest wind readings in Lancaster, where we just showed you winds are sustained 23, 24 miles an hour. Gusts already up to 40 miles an hour. That's nothing concern because we've got winds that could be gusting up to 80 miles an hour over the next few days. So again, let's take a look at the winds a little bit closer there in LA County. Lancaster at 23, Antelope at 20. We're coming in right around 12 in Falling Springs, 18 in Sandburg as we go further inland from Fontana to the Lucerne Valley, 12 to 14 miles an hour. But again, these winds will continue to strengthen. I'll tell you more about how long they will last and how strong they will get. We'll go through a timeline for you coming up in just a few minutes. Pat, back to you.
Dangerous, but in fact, it is going to be a bit dangerous, Jackie.
It sure is. In fact, and it's not just going to be overnight tonight. It is going to last from tonight through about Friday afternoon. So that's a long period of dealing just with sustained winds. The winds are going to be pounding out there. And we've even got isolated gusts in the mountain areas that could get up to 80 miles an hour, just to give you an idea of how strong the winds will be. And it's not just that will be the problem. It's just these sustained winds anywhere from 25 to 50 miles an hour. And this extends from the coast further inland. So anywhere you are in Southern California, you are going to be dealing with some very serious winds over the next 2 days. We're taking a live look outside. We do have some clouds out there right now. And in fact, we saw some fog earlier this morning. The weather is changing. It is changing quickly. Let's take a look at the latest watches and warnings, again, extending from the coast inland. We've already got the high wind warnings in effect for the mountains of LA and Ventura counties. At 7 p.m., those go into effect for the mountains of San Bernardino and Riverside counties. And at midnight tonight, the rest of the warnings go into effect. So not only the wind warnings and the wind advisories, but we're also looking at a red flag warning because not only will it be windy, but extremely dry. You can see where the winds have started to pick up. In Lancaster up to 23 miles an hour, Lucerne Valley up to 22. We've already seen some gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Tonight, those gusts will get up to around 50 miles an hour. Not only that, but those temperatures will be dropping 20s and 30s. So we're also talking about a wind chill factor. So here's the timeline. The wind strengthen tonight. All the warnings go into effect. And again, that will take us through Friday afternoon. Sustained winds out of the northeast, eventually anywhere from about 35 to 60 miles an hour. And again, we could have gusts up to 60 miles an hour at the coast and the valleys, 80 in isolated mountain locations. So again, those are sustained winds and those are gusts. And this will take us into Friday, where the windy weather will continue through the afternoon hours. We might even see a few raindrops on the backside of the low, so some moisture will be getting pulled into the southland. Not enough moisture. We do need more than that because, again, those fire weather watches will be high with the windy, dry conditions. Let's take a look at the temperatures. Today, we were right around average. Tomorrow, we're actually going to start to cool things down. So it's going to be cool and windy. Temperatures tonight into the 50s and the 60s. I want to show you the weather setup. This is why we're having these very strong winds. We've got a ridge of high pressure, but that is just out to our west. So this area of low pressure is dropping in and is dropping in just to our east. And the problem is we're squeezed right between these two systems. So that's why the wind's going to start to pick up. The other problem is this low, instead of just moving on out and causing winds for a short period of time, it is going to stall out and just sit right over the basin. So again, we've got these winds, these very strong winds over a prolonged period of time, and that will be the problem. And again, we've got that cooler air moving in as well. Let's take a look at your extended forecast. Again, these winds will last through Friday afternoon. So get ready. Ventura County, your winds will be at the worst about Thursday night into Friday morning. But temperatures over the next few days into the 60s. Again, we might even see a few sprinkles, some clouds pulled in from this low by Friday. But for the most part, it is a dry system, and temperatures will be into the 60s with lighter winds by this weekend. Pat and Paul, back to you.